Welcome back, guys. The Captain's Log, Dr. Daller. Daller, you're going to talk to me about online dating. And apparently it's a whole new world.
It's impressive. You know, I didn't know much about online dating. And last week you said, hey, let's talk about it. A lot of people are asking. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of, Captain Brien, the #1 grossing app in the world is Tinder. #1 gross, Tinder. I mean, it's not Netflix, it's nothing else. It's Tinder. That's the app that generates the most amount of money. And when I read it the first time, I didn't believe it. I had to Google it a couple of times to make sure, fact check it, because we don't. Everything we say here is a fact.
Yeah,
of course. And that was
as a matter of fact, it's a fact.
Incredible. So, Captain Brien, you remember those days when we used to go, in the old days, we used to go to the bar, and on Friday night you go to the bar and you buy a few drinks and you talk to this girl and you talk to that girl and you talk to that girl, and at the end of the night, if you're lucky enough, you hook up, and if you're not, game over until next weekend.
Right.
Today, it's
not so much.
Not so much.
No.
That atmosphere had changed significantly. I mean, people are going on different apps. There are hundreds and hundreds of apps. The most common one, obviously, is Tinder to hook up, but there's Match.com and eHarmony and you name it, and Bumble and different one. They have apps for gay and lesbians, and they have apps for older people and younger people, and you name it, there's an app
flavor for everybody.
Absolutely. And today we'll talk about, all these easy, what we call easy hookups. Are they making you any happier or not? And I did a lot of reading. I read multiple articles, mainly by psychologists and psychiatrists, and articles by different university professors that are going, when we are going to talk about, what's the effect on people when they do that versus the old days when we used to go to the bar and interact with people. It's a different era. But again, at the end of the day, at the end of this podcast, I want everybody to understand Tinder and all of them are here to stay. They are not. It's not going to go away. No, it's just going to increase.
It's the only way.
Oh, it's the only way.
Yeah.
Hooking up in a bar is over.
Yeah.
This is not going to be an issue anymore. By the year 2040, 70% of human beings are going. That's the only way they're going to hook up.
They're going to meet online.
They are going to meet online. That's it. That's going to be online hookup by 2014. By 2040. Already today, majority of the people are still hooking up that way.
They're saying that not till 2040, in 20 years?
Yeah, in 20 years.
That's wrong.
No, because if you think about it, a lot of people are still hooking up, online, but they are not getting married online.
Right. So you're saying by 2040, 70% of the people that are married
are going to get married that way.
Have met online.
Online.
Wow.
With different apps. Not necessarily Tinder, even though I know a couple of people that met on Tinder and they got married. But this is the exception. I mean, the Match.com and eHarmony and all this stuff, they're here to stay. And they're going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger.
Hi Brenda, hi Randy, Vicky, how are you guys? We're talking about online dating with Dr. Daller.
So, Captain Brien, you remember in the old days we used to go to the bar, and from time to time, I know not you but myself, I used to get rejected. Because I know you never get rejected.
I've been rejected.
I got rejected.
It happened a couple of times.
Yeah. And it hurts. And it hurts, but you know what? It was one girl that rejected me, and I moved on. Next weekend, I'm back on my game. Here, when you're on Tinder, it could be 100 girls that you swipe to the right, and none of them answer to you. So it's 100 rejections. So
how does that feel?
It feels awful because we know from neuroscience, we know that a broken heart, the brain does not know the difference between a broken heart and a broken bone. It's the same mechanism.
Randy said I never get rejected. Yes, I do. Sometimes I do.
I know. Captain Brien is an exception. So he is the exception. But us, normal people, we get rejected from time to time. And we know how it feels. A broken heart and a broken bone is the same mechanism in the brain. The brain does not know the difference.
Really?
Absolutely. It's the same, exactly the same thing. And when you go on Tinder and you swipe 100 girls to the right, and I learned all these tricks about swiping to the right,
Did you go on and
to
swipe?
the left. No,
you had to test it.
I had to test
you
it.
had to test. I've tested. I've given it a good once over.
Of course,
a couple times.
It's part of taking one for the team. That's
right.
how we take one for the team
I have to
here.
do this serious research.
That's right.
I can't talk out of school in this subject.
Absolutely. You have to know. I mean, you preach what you practice, and you practice what you preach.
That's right.
Absolutely. So again, if you swipe 100 girls to the right and none of them answer, it's 100 rejections. Also, if you go on a date today, when you're going to go,
let me interrupt you.
Yeah,
if you swipe 100 girls and you get no's every time, it's a rejection. But it's not the same as going up to someone's face and them saying, oh, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested," because depending on the person, they may take that to heart, they may not.
I disagree. So here, social media, whether it's on Facebook and or in Instagram or on Tinder, it does affect human beings. So it affects. I know for a fact that when we post something and we see, we posted about anything, a video, and we had 15,000 people watch that video, it makes me feel good. And if we have only 1,500 people watch it,
I'm like, damn.
I felt, what happened? Captain Brien. I mean, we have a great topic. We did homework. It's great content. How come only 1,500 people watch it?
Right.
I have a video on YouTube about the pee show that I do, and 500,000 people watched it. And I said, oh my God, I feel like a rock star.
Of course.
And I have another video about prostate cancer, and only 7 people watched it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, oh my God, I'm a loser.
Right.
So that does affect you as a person today. And I'm looking at my kids and other things. When kids are bullying other kids, if they don't put a like, is as if they are bullying them. Yeah. It doesn't take much to feel like, oh, I'm rejected. So that feeling of rejection is awful. And the amount of number of patients, and doing the research for this podcast, I learned different terms. I like ghosting. You know what ghosting?
Yes, of course.
I didn't know what ghosting.
When you all of a sudden just get left hanging.
Right.
They respond and then nothing.
And you can do that with Tinder.
Yeah.
But in real life, when you met somebody, you picked her up from a house, you went to dinner, you gave her your cell phone. We didn't ghost anybody. I mean, what do you mean ghost? I mean, you don't like the person, you say, hey, let's go for a cup of coffee.
You walk away.
Yes, let's go for a cup of coffee. There's no chemistry. You understand? So I used to use the word chemistry because I believe in chemistry among human beings, and sometimes there's no chemistry and you move on. But here, just to be left, and because with ghosting, you feel like maybe there is hope. Maybe that person is going to connect with me.
But I think they ghost. Here's why they ghost.
Yes.
Here's why. Because online dating is very quick. You get a lot of different hits. You can swipe on 100 different people, right?
Yes.
And so there could be 12 people talking to you.
Yes.
So then the girl doesn't have time. She ghosts them.
Yes.
I think that's what happens.
But it hurts. It hurts. That's the bottom line. That person is wounded. That person
chaps your ass. It really does.
It does. It does. And again, let's talk about the fact, Captain Brien, do you know how many people lie on their content when you write your story on Tinder?
I bet you it's 70%.
95.
95%?
Who lies more, men or women?
No way.
Let's see if you know. Who lies more, men or women?
Oh, it's got to be women.
That's right. How did you know that? I thought I was sure men lie more.
Why do the women lie?
Women lie about their looks. They put a picture from several years ago. They put a picture when they were skinny, or when they were blonde, or when they were this.
And you know what? And that's why they ghost. That's my theory. Half the time they won't meet because they're not even the same damn person.
And when you start a relationship on a false, premise, that's a problem. The chances that this is going to move to the next stage when you already lied about something, it's a problem. Let's see if you know what men lie about.
Their income.
That's right. Men lie about. You could write this article. Men lie about their finances. They always make themselves making much more money, or they're in a different position, and again, that's a problem. And you can do it with Tinder because you're going to hook up once. You can lie about you being a hotshot, even though you're not a hotshot. So again, the premise of lying all the time, that's not a good start of a relationship.
Right.
When we, 20 years ago, when we didn't lie, we were ourselves. As a matter of fact, if anything, we downgraded ourselves.
Sure.
I always made myself, I used to wear my raggedy t-shirt and my jeans, and I'm not trying to impress anybody. You like me because I'm funny, you like me because I'm smart, you like me because of my looks. I don't care what. There's chemistry, there's chemistry. There's no chemistry.
But you didn't have, on the online dating, you can actually search according to the age and distance.
Right.
So you didn't have the parameters where you could just set the distance in the bar,
right,
or the age,
right,
or the area of how many girls you wanted to meet. You just walked into the bar, and who's in the bar is who you meet.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what you're stuck with.
Yeah.
But not online.
No.
Not online. You have a much broader audience.
Right. No. I mean, the audience is remarkable. I mean, the pool is so deep. I mean, we had a very shallow pool with, like, in the bar, a couple of girls, and,
right,
and sometimes none. So here you have millions of people. You know how many swipes on Tinder every day people swipe? How many swipes they get?
1 billion.
1.6 billion.
More than 1 billion.
1.6 billion. A day swipes.
These are horny little guys.
Amazing.
Out there.
How many
are girls and how many are guys?
How many, I'll ask you the question. How many hookups a day occurs on Tinder? From that one, I told you already, 1.6 billion swipes.
Yeah.
How many hookups?
I don't know.
1.5 million.
1.5 million connections a day?
Correct. Connection a day.
Wow.
1.5 million. A lot.
That's
still
good
a lot.
for your business, Doc.
It's very good because the
for you.
STD is growing up. It's like because of STD and everything else. Yes, it is good for the business because people care about sex and care about, but STD does involve with that as well. So that's a different topic for a different conversation and different time. So
1.5.
1.5.
Is that worldwide or in the U.S.?
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
So 1.6 billion worldwide on Tinder everywhere. First time I learned about Tinder, I was on a plane. I was sitting in business class, and right next to me was a nice guy, and he was telling me about him getting engaged and all this stuff, and showing me a picture of his fiancée. And we were flying to a foreign country. I won't say which one. And he asked me about Tinder. I said, I heard about it, but I don't know how it works. And he told me that when he leaves the country, he goes on Tinder because in the country he doesn't want anybody to know.
And then he puts his
the location.
His location on where he is.
Of where he is over there, so he can hook up.
What a nice guy. You introduced this conversation by you met a nice guy on the airplane. And next thing you know, you turn it on me and you tell me the guy's out there trying to bang every girl in every country.
Unbelievable. But at least he doesn't do it at home.
Yeah, not in the U.S. That's good. That's good. What a nice guy.
What a good guy. Very nice guy.
I don't think Tinder is just for hookups, though.
Good question. So I did some research and I asked a bunch of people in the last few days, about their apps and what's the purpose of the app.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to, for example, Match.com, that's more relationship. eHarmony, more relationship.
Yeah.
But most people that are on Tinder that I asked, and this was not hundreds of people, I asked maybe 17 people.
This is a survey from everybody in the car?
That's a survey from everybody that was riding with me. And I say, what is the objective? What's your objective here? And most people told me that Tinder was designed for hookup. Now, is it true that some people get married from Tinder? Yes, I know some people that got married from Tinder. But
I know somebody that got married from Tinder, from Bumble.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. It does work.
Sure. And again, can it work? Absolutely. But the premise, you have to start with being honest with yourself. Don't start by lying that you are a CEO of Procter & Gamble.
Right.
And at the end, you are nobody. You don't have a job. That's obviously this is going nowhere. Okay.
So you say that there's a lot of negative effects, but what about the people who are afraid to meet people face to face, but yet behind their computer or on their phone, they're much more able to interact with people, and then they can make that connection? That's good for them, no?
No, not really. So self-esteem.
Okay,
you want to promote your own self-esteem.
Yeah.
You want to promote your own face-to-face will promote your own self-esteem. When you are hiding behind something, behind the computer, behind your smartphone, behind anything like that, you are not going to promote your self-esteem. The way you promote, the reason you're doing well is because you have obviously you're very good with Facebook and Instagram and all this stuff, but
Wait,
you're very
well
good in person.
With what?
No,
He says I'm doing well.
the next Jeff Bezos is sitting next to me. You never know. You never know. I mean, you are very good. You present yourself. Your disposition is very good, Captain Brien, when it comes to Instagram, when it comes to Facebook. But you have a great disposition in real life. You have great disposition when you are at the comedy club or when we go somewhere, or you're on radio with Big Mama.
So you need that to follow through onto your online
Absolutely.
profile.
You cannot hide behind the desk all day and try to swipe to the left, swipe to the right. At the end of the day, you'll have to meet that person.
Right.
You have to charm them. How do you
That's
charm
why
a person?
That's why they ghost. That's why they get to the point where they get to that when it's time to meet, and all of a sudden they don't do it.
I know, but even LeBron James go to the court and play basketball. You cannot play video games and pretend like you're LeBron James. That doesn't work. In real life, you have to do it in real life. You have to actually practice.
Yeah.
You're practicing going out. You're doing that stuff. And sometimes you get one rejection. You're not good at something. Same with sex and everything else that we do. Not always it's great, and you work on it and you make it better and better and better.
So, how much research did you do on this topic?
A lot.
You did.
I was fascinated, Captain Brien.
I told you it was a big topic. I keep getting messages.
You know what?
I have a girl tomorrow on the podcast who actually is doing a lot of online dating, and she wants to talk about some of the stories that she has.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So we're going to go do a double feature tomorrow.
What time is that going to happen?
That's going to be at 10 a.m., I believe, tomorrow.
I'm going to try to listen tomorrow to that. That's going to be amazing. Again, so when I did the research, a lot of scammers, a lot of scam artists, people stealing money and stuff like that. Be smart. I don't understand people have no common sense. Why are you giving your real, phone number if you are just trying, you don't know that person? Why would you give anybody your financial information to begin with? They do that. People stealing millions on Tinder. They give their financial, I want to help you. I'm the prince from Nigeria. Do I look like a prince from Nigeria? Look at me. I mean, give me your money. Give me $1 million, I give you $3 million in return. Hey,
what a deal.
What a deal. I mean, I'm the prince from Nigeria and I want $1 million from you. I'll give you $3 million in a day. Really? Wow. There are no deals like that. So be very, very careful.
What's the number one thing people want to know about each other when they're online dating? The first thing.
It depends. So on Tinder, it's looks. Looks is key. And they did research about that. That was very interesting. So I read an article about a psychologist from the West Coast. And he put a fake picture on Tinder of a good-looking girl. Yeah. And then she wrote all with spelling mistakes about who she is, and everything was like screwed up big time. Yeah. And in 2 days, she got 400 people that will ask her for stuff, swiped and all, and it was a mess. I mean, you look at her, what she wrote, what she likes. She doesn't like music, and she doesn't like to read, and she doesn't like anything.
So they tried to make the worst profile they could. Yeah, but with a good-looking picture.
With a good-looking picture. So
what about the ugly profile with the great?
Right. So when it comes to what girls want and what guys want, is completely different. Guys, do you know what they want? The good looks, and they want young girl. So young girl, 18 years old, 20 years old, go very, very well for guys. And for girls, they look at money. They look at money. So people with money do better. Now, it's not true for all professions. For example, if you are an engineer or if you work for HR, human resource, and you have money, people don't like you. I don't know why, but HR has a bad connotation. Really? Oh, he works for HR. Probably he's against
a bastard. He's in HR.
Really? He's a snitch. They say he works for HR. He must be a snitch.
He can't put HR. Okay.
Yeah. So stuff like that, they don't care. Also for women, I was amazed that men don't like women with higher level of education. For example, they like women with undergrad. But women that have a PhD or doctorate or anything like that, men are more.
They get a lot of swipe lefts.
A lot of, because I don't want some smart Alec here telling me that she is Albert Einstein. I want somebody that is good looking with an undergrad and she's young.
Okay, so now the question I guess I have is, what's better for your ego, Bumble where the women pick, or Tinder where either one can pick?
I think, you know, again, from my understanding, Tinder, that either one pick, and you know what, you have left and right, and you know, there is still a chance. You understand? If you are not, you know, the other thing that I learned, that most people are going to shoot higher than what they can. So
they swipe on girls who they think that if they get a
know
chance,
they have no chance.
Yeah, no
her.
chance.
I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, you are going for amazing girls that are way out of your league.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, 25% out of your league. So there's no way. There's
so you
no
gotta
way.
stay in your league. You gotta stay in your lane.
Right. And if you do that, you're going to hook up with the right girl that is going to be a good match for you.
Yeah.
And it's going to all work out. But if you are going to go way above your league, and then you're going to be disappointed,
Right.
and you're hoping for that one girl that is going to be, wow, she is amazing, and he is mediocre. That will not work.
Yeah.
Again, this is a fairy tale. It doesn't work. It works only in Beauty and the Beast.
That would be like going on Match. They're not going to match you together.
That's correct.
So you got to stay in the lanes. All right. So, do you think that the 2040 time frame of 75% of the people are going to be using online to get married? Do you think that that's going to be a good thing for us or a bad thing?
You know, I saw so people ask, hey, what if you're finding only bad things? I found some good stuff. You know, I encourage my patients.
Hey, Andy, how are you? I'm just saying hi to Joe Marie, Helen, how are you? Hey guys, Randy. All right, they're all on there watching. Say hi.
I love it.
Yeah.
Say, hey guys. So, you know, what's the good about posting stuff and Instagram and Facebook? For example, Captain Brien, if you needed to lose weight, I would encourage you to go on Instagram and write your goals, because that will improve your ability to lose weight.
The new thing with the models is they just go on, they face-tune their body. Did you see the new account that's calling out all the Instagram models?
Yeah.
And they show the real picture and then the fake picture, all these hot booties you see on Instagram, they're all fake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All these girls that have millions of followers, and they show real life. They show the real two pictures. It's called what the heck's it called? Fake? Damn, I don't know. You can go on 1055 The Beat. I know that because the story's on there today. And they have it. It's the Instagram story of the account.
No, but if you want to lose weight and you show everybody, you know, these are my goals, I'm going to go and I'm going to post a picture of myself every day and how I'm losing, that's going to motivate you. If you want to quit smoking and you're going to tell the entire world why, it's going to motivate you, because if you start smoking again, you are going to feel like a loser.
Right.
So do that. Same thing with, you know, be honest with yourself. I do see something good about you know, being honest with yourself. Stay with your own type of people. When I say own type of people, if you're a highly educated person, stay with highly educated. And there is an app for that. There is an app for everything.
Yeah.
You name it. Every pot has a lid. Everybody has a cover. You can find the right person. But be honest, be truthful. Don't try to, and again,
and use pictures that are current and updated and not Photoshop.
And you know, the problem with Tinder, that a lot of people are using it just to get laid, just to hook up. And you know those people because their profile, and again, there's a study about that.
What do they say?
Their profile is very short.
Oh,
the shorter the profile,
the hornier they are.
The hornier they are.
Son of a gun! I'm going into the wrong
They are saying, you know what? I'm honest and attractive, and I want to spend time hiking but
no hookups. That's a guarantee that they want to hook up.
Correct. And being honest. You saying I'm honest, it doesn't cut it. You know, it's like you don't need to say I'm honest. You don't see the obvious stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very truthful. Obviously, you're lying to me. so the longer you know what you write about yourself, and the more descriptive it is, the more truthful it looks, and the better the chances for a real match versus just a hookup.
What about a hookup? They like the shorter ones, or they're gonna read the longer ones?
Between you and I, if you have a great picture, nobody reads too much. If you have an amazing picture,
they just swipe it right away.
So if you write, so it depends on what your objective here. If your objective is to hook up with a sexy young girl, you know, great picture, and just say I'm making a ton of money, that's good enough. Now, if you want to have a match that is going to be a long-lasting relationship, you have to write about, you know, I like to play golf, I like to play tennis, I like to do, because again, or I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat, because at the end of the day, it's very difficult if you're a Republican to live with a Democrat. If you're a Democrat to live with a Republican. You know, does it happen? Yes, it does. But at the end of the day, if you are a crazy Republican or crazy Democrat, it's going to be very difficult for you to be in a relationship with the opposite.
What if you post a picture in your bikini and it's your first picture? I think that's a winner. I think that's the way.
For sure.
That's the way to go to get some swipes.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And that tells the truth.
Absolutely.
I think if you're good, then it knows. If you're not good, then you get it tells you the way. It doesn't have to be a perfect picture.
Oh my God. But again, I truly enjoy doing all the research for this program. It was eye opener.
Yeah.
Just you know, to see how many people are doing it. And you know, 10 years ago there was a stigma involved with that. Today there's no more stigma.
No.
Everybody's on it.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, of course, I'm on it. I'm sure the Congress, members of Congress and senators and the president, they're all on it.
They're on Araya.
Oh, there is one.
There's one called Araya. That's for like celebrities.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's where the celebrities and stuff meet.
And you have to get approved. You got in. You got Captain Brien got in.
I don't know about
Unbelievable.
Araya.
And you don't hook me up with any of that. Araya. What kind of a name is that?
That's the big for the big shots.
Really?
Yeah.
For the hot shots there?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's where they are. Well, guys, listen. We're going to be back tomorrow. I know that we have more on this topic. You can send us your messages. I hope you learned something today. If you didn't, I hope you enjoyed it and had fun watching anyway, because Dr. Daller is doing a lot of work for us, getting all the research taken care of, and then we just have a good time talking about it because I appreciate your time. I appreciate all your knowledge, Doc, and every Tuesday you have so many great stuff to talk about. Thanks for watching, guys. This is the Captain's Log, and we'll be back. We'll see you tomorrow. We're out.
Take care.